Parliament exercises budgetary control over the executive in matters of finance through parliamentary committees such as the Budget Committee and Public Accounts Committee. Budgetary oversight provides financial accountability. Parliament or members of Parliament approve and scrutinize government spending by highlighting waste within public funded services. Further, Parliament has a role to play in approving public debt before it is contracted. Their aim is to improve the economy, efficiency, and effectiveness of government expenditure. The budgeting process is conducted in accordance with the provisions of the National Planning and Budgetary Act number 1 of 2020. Step 1, consultations. This is the stage where a detailed policy paper is prepared. The paper outlines the economic objectives of the country over a 3-year horizon. In addition, the paper contains annual performance review of the National Development Plan, new project proposals, and annual output targets to be achieved over the medium-term expenditure framework. It is expected that policy paper is completed by the second Friday of April. By the last Friday of April, the minister should have received budget submissions, which include revenues and expenditure proposals from both state and non-state actors, which should subsequently be submitted to the Secretary to the Treasury by the first Friday of May. Thereafter, the Secretary to the Treasury consults constitution officers on the proposed policy directions and resource implications by the second Friday of May. Step 2, preparation of budget policy concept paper and submission to Cabinet. Once the consultations are done at stage 1 above, the budget policy concept paper is then prepared and submitted to Cabinet for approval. The paper basically contains budget proposals adopted over the next 3 years. It is expected that this paper is submitted to Cabinet by the second Friday of June. Step 3, preparations of a medium-term budget plan or green paper. The medium-term budget plan, which includes the microeconomic framework for a given 3-year period, as well as targets for economic growth, inflation, and domestic borrowing, forms the basis of implementation of the National Development Plan. This particular document is prepared in consultation with key stakeholders. Once this is finalized, the fiscal framework, which indicates the total resources or revenue that are available for the central government operations expenditure in a 3-year period, is developed. Step 4, issuance of the Green Paper, MTBP. Essentially, the Green Paper is a consultative document drawn from the microeconomic and fiscal framework outlining government's intentions in a 3-year horizon. The Green Paper should be issued for consultation by the second Friday of July. Stakeholders involved in the consultations at this stage include Parliament committees, civil society organizations or non-governmental organizations, donors or cooperating partners, and the general public through the print media. Step 5, issuance of the core circular. The budget core circular is simply a document that contains key policies, parameters, and procedures for budget preparation. It also contains resource ceilings and expenditure allocated to various spending agencies. This paper should be issued by the second Friday of July. Step 6, budget hearings. Budget hearings are held with government institutions where their budget proposals are scrutinized to ensure that they are consistent with government policy. The hearings should be held by the last Friday of August. Thereafter, the paper is presented to Cabinet for approval. Step 7. National Budget Policy Statement and the National Budget. According to the Act, the policy statement should be delivered to Parliament on the last Friday of September or 90 days before close of the current fiscal year. The policy statement usually contains an overview of the macroeconomic environment, the objective and priorities of the proposed estimates, a summary of the projects and programs, deficit or surplus projected, description of fiscal strategy and government borrowing and lending limits. Step 8. Approval by the National Assembly. This is the stage where the National Assembly approves the national budget after debating it. This is supposed to be done before the close of the fiscal year. Step 9. Preparation of the white paper. After the budget has been approved for a particular fiscal year, it is implemented within the year, 30 days after an approval. The ministry prepares a white paper, which is simply the approved MTBP.